Everybody, thank you so much for joining us on Fox 54 News. Wherever you're watching us, this is ongoing coverage of what we've been covering today. A multi-agency manhunt still ongoing here in Scottsboro. Let's take a look over my shoulder. I'm not sure how much you can see still, but it is still an active staging area. It is still an active scene here after a Scottsboro police officer was shot early Saturday morning. And we have not received many updates since around 12:30 this afternoon, but we are providing you with the latest details we know at this point. Just about an hour ago, those Scottsboro Police Department saying on their Facebook, the suspect, Daniel Victor McCarn, has not been found just yet, and he is still being considered armed and dangerous. Let's bring you through a little bit of a timeline as to what has occurred Saturday. It all started very early this morning, around 1 a.m. Officers were responding to a domestic incident call on Ruth Street in Scottsboro. The suspect, McCarn, fled and a pursuit ensued. That pursuit ended in a crash at the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and County Park Road, which is right over there. That road, again, still closed as to what we can see. McCarn exited his vehicle and began firing shots, and at least one of them striking an officer. That officer was transported to Huntsville Hospital, where they were treated with non-life-threatening injuries. We have not been updated on their condition at this moment. A multi-agency manhunt has been ongoing for several hours now, and it continues. The suspect, Daniel Victor McCarn, age 29, of Huntsville. Aaliyah describes him as a white male, 5'10", brown hair, brown eyes, weighing 170 pounds. Aaliyah says he was last seen wearing a gray shirt, black shorts, and no shoes. And Aaliyah's reporting he is walking with a bit of a limp. Multiple agencies are on site here, including Alabama law enforcement agencies, State Bureau of Investigation, FBI, U.S. Marshals, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Bureau, Jackson County Sheriff's, Scottsboro Police Department, and other agencies are assisting as well. As I stated before, McCarn is still being considered armed and dangerous, and if you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to call 911. A blue alert was issued around 12:15 this afternoon. You may have heard it, you may have seen it come through your phone, and I wanted to talk about what a blue alert means. Now, the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency has a criteria list, and according to their criteria list, a blue alert is described as, quote, peace officer is missing, injured, or killed, and at large suspect is believed to be a serious threat to the public. Again, just about an hour ago, Scottsboro PD saying McCarn has not been located just yet, and he is still being considered armed and dangerous. If you are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us on wherever you're watching us from. Gabe Glassman reporting from Scottsboro, as we still have an active investigation and a multi-agency manhunt ongoing in Scottsboro after a Scottsboro police officer was shot in the early hours of this morning. For those who were just tuning in, I will repeat my information. This is all according to the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency and local law enforcement. Around 1 a.m. this morning, officers were responding to a domestic incident on Ruth Street in Scottsboro. The suspect being identified as Daniel Victor McCarn. He's 29, out of Huntsville. He fled and a pursuit ensued and ended in a crash at the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and County Park Road. That stretch of road is just over there, and it is still closed off as far as we can see. McCarn exited the vehicle and began firing shots, at least one of those striking an officer. That officer was transported to Huntsville Hospital. Non-life-threatening injuries. That is the latest update we have on their condition at this time. But a multi-agency manhunt is ongoing at this hour. Daniel Victor McCarn is identified as the suspect. He's 29, out of Huntsville. Again, Aaliyah describes him as a white male, 5'10" in height, 170 pounds in weight, brown hair, brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a gray shirt, black shorts, and no shoes. And Aaliyah is saying that he walks with a limp. Multiple agencies still on site here, and if you have any information on McCarn's whereabouts, you are asked to call 911 immediately. That blue alert that was listed statewide is still active, and it is still an ongoing investigation here in Scottsboro. Now, Coming up later tonight on Fox 54 News and we will be providing any updates we get. We will also tell you again what has been going on. If you want, you can also check out fox54.com and Fox 54 Plus. That is where all of the up-to-date information will be listed as soon as we get it. So make sure you are tuned in on our socials and on fox54.com and Fox 54 Plus. Live in Scottsboro, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.